Have you ever found yourself awake in the middle of the night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if there's something greater meant for you, just beyond reach? That feeling of being stuck, like the universe is holding its breath, waiting for you to take the next step. You're not alone. In fact, you're exactly where you're meant to be. What if I told you that all the challenges you're facing right now aren't roadblocks, but signs that you're on the verge of something monumental? This video isn't just another guide, it's a signal, a powerful reminder that your breakthrough is closer than you think. Stick with me, and let's unravel the final piece of the puzzle together. Life, as intricate as a web woven from stardust and intention, often calls us to question if our existence holds something more, a deeper rhythm that can only be heard once we start listening inward. For many, this journey begins with an awakening of consciousness, a subtle shift where the known world suddenly feels smaller, as if the universe is urging us to see beyond what is visible. This is the moment when cracks start forming in the walls of our ordinary life, inviting us to peer into the vast unknown. It's here that the journey of monumental changes truly begins, where every thought and experience reverberates like an echo through the cosmos, pulling us into the current of personal transformation. In this space of awakening, many encounter what's known as the dark night of the soul. It's a time where our inner landscape is shrouded in shadow, confusion, and even pain. Far from being a punishment, this stage is the universe's way of preparing us to shed the skin of old beliefs and attachments, allowing us to grow. To those brave enough to endure this darkness, a profound rebirth awaits, a renewal of purpose as resilient as the stars that guide sailors in the night. Here, we're reminded that even in the deepest void, there's potential for light, and through the path of pain and growth, a more authentic self emerges. As the journey deepens, the soul learns the art of accepting change. It's a lesson written not in books but in the heart's experiences, urging us to let go of control and surrender to a greater rhythm. Many find themselves clinging tightly to what was once comforting, only to feel the universe gently nudge them forward. In surrendering, we find peace, in peace, we find clarity. The wise among us have said that life is a dance of receiving and letting go, and this is where the melody truly begins, when we let the universe lead, opening ourselves to new realities and unexplored possibilities. However, letting go is not about passivity, it's an invitation to trust the flow of life and rediscover our own strength. Each soul on this path finds that the power to overcome obstacles lies not in resisting life but in embracing it fully. Like waves returning to the ocean, we are part of a rhythm, and by aligning ourselves with it, we find resilience and personal growth. For those on this path, resilience isn't just survival, it's a reawakening. With every struggle faced and every tear shed, the spirit strengthens, like roots deepening to hold up a mighty tree. This transformation, marked by acceptance and rebirth, redefines our life's purpose. No longer bound by fear or hesitation, the seeker steps into a journey that feels guided by forces beyond. With a renewed sense of purpose, life becomes a series of lessons, each moment a teacher revealing the nature of our spirit. This purpose isn't found in external goals alone but in the quiet moments of reflection and surrender, where we begin to see ourselves as participants in a cosmic story, each step forward a chapter in our personal myth of resilience and self-overcoming. Through this journey, we find an invitation to pause, to ask ourselves, what am I resisting? Where is my soul guiding me? When we listen deeply, we hear whispers of encouragement from within, a reminder that we are never alone in our journey. Each step, each breath, brings us closer to a truth hidden within, and this truth carries a message: you were born to grow, to change, and to be reborn. And if you're willing, the next part of this journey will reveal even more. In the silent moments of our darkest nights, pain emerges not as an enemy but as an unexpected guide, a hidden force urging us to dig deeper within. When Andres, a wanderer of the soul, found himself grappling with endless struggles, he felt as if he was drowning in an ocean with no shore in sight. Yet, in that overwhelming wave of despair, a subtle realization dawned upon him: his pain wasn't there to break him but to awaken a deeper strength he had yet to uncover. This marked the beginning of his journey into self-acceptance, a pathway many fear but one that holds the key to profound personal transformation. Learning to accept pain requires a radical shift in perspective. The seeker must first relinquish the notion that life's difficulties are mere misfortunes. Instead, pain becomes the chisel that shapes our soul, smoothing away the rough edges of fear, doubt, and limitation. Like a blacksmith forging iron, every painful experience tempers us, creating resilience where fragility once reigned. For Andres, this was a revelation, one that brought forth not only a new sense of purpose but also a humble acceptance of the mysterious path life had set before him. As he embraced his suffering, Andres discovered a hidden reservoir of resilience and courage that he never knew existed. In the past, he had seen pain as a barrier, an obstacle that blocked him from happiness and peace. But in his newfound wisdom, he began to see pain as a portal, a way to access parts of himself that were hidden beneath layers of comfort and denial. Each moment of hardship became a stepping stone, a deliberate test from the universe, meant not to punish but to prepare him for a greater version of himself. And in this awareness, he found the beginning of his rebirth. Every tear, every doubt, and every sleepless night became an invitation to let go of control, to release the grip on what he thought his life should be. As Andres surrendered to the current of life, he realized that he didn't need to have all the answers. His path was less about understanding and more about trusting, a trust that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, was guiding him through each struggle with purpose. This surrender wasn't about giving up, it was about giving into a higher flow, to a plan that saw beyond his immediate pain and towards his ultimate potential. In these moments of acceptance, something extraordinary began to happen. His pain, once sharp and consuming, softened, transforming into a quiet strength. It was as if the weight of his burdens had lightened, not because his struggles had disappeared, but because he was no longer resisting them. This acceptance was the fuel of his transformation, the foundation of a resilience that would carry him forward, no matter what challenges life presented. Pain had become his teacher, guiding him back to a life of purpose, clarity, and inner strength. Perhaps, like Andres, we're all called to face our pain, not to diminish it or run from it, but to allow it to shape us into who we are meant to become. This journey of acceptance isn't for the faint-hearted, but for those who long to live with authenticity and courage. So, I invite you to pause, to reflect, what pain in your life is asking for acceptance? And what strength could it awaken within you if you allowed it? Have you ever felt lost, disconnected from who you truly are? I created 3 transformative ebooks to help you reconnect with your true essence. Click the link in the pinned comment and start your transformation now. The journey of true transformation is not a gentle one. It often leads us into the shadows, into the depths of what mystics and seekers call the dark night of the soul. It's a place where every light seems dim, every answer elusive, and every step forward feels like a step back. For those who dare to venture here, this dark night isn't a dead end, but a vital turning point, a profound transformation that strips away the superficial and reveals the authentic self waiting beneath. To experience this is to stand on the precipice of change, where the pain of letting go becomes the catalyst for an extraordinary rebirth. The dark night comes to those who seek something greater than surface-level happiness. It whispers that the life we've been living, the roles we've played, and even the beliefs we've held are only parts of a much grander truth. This realization is not easy to embrace, as it requires us to let go of identities and comforts we once held dear. But in surrendering to this dark, uncertain space, the soul begins to unravel, revealing facets of ourselves we never knew existed. In this painful unraveling, we begin to shed the masks and illusions that held us captive. Andres, like many before him, found himself in this place of solitude, questioning everything he thought he knew. His beliefs, his ambitions, his entire sense of self felt as if it was dissolving. There were nights when he felt lost beyond hope, yet it was in these very moments that he began to understand that the darkness was not his enemy. It was a space of fertile emptiness, a canvas upon which he could finally create himself anew. For the first time, he saw the dark night not as an end, but as a necessary void, a passageway to a rebirth that would align him with his truest essence. This transformation, as Andres realized, wasn't about reaching some higher state by adding more layers. It was a journey of removing, of peeling away all that was unnecessary and false. Each night spent in the unknown allowed him to step closer to his true self. Here, he discovered that growth isn't always bright or comfortable. Sometimes, it's hidden in shadows, waiting to be revealed by those willing to walk through their fears. In the depths of the dark night, he found the courage to stand alone, to face himself fully and emerge transformed. As he emerged, Andres felt lighter, clearer, as though he had been born anew. This rebirth was not merely a change in perspective, it was a complete reorientation of his life's purpose and direction. The suffering he once feared had become his teacher, guiding him to a life of resilience, depth, and authenticity. He was no longer bound by the expectations of others or the need for external validation. The dark night had burned away these illusions, leaving only the purest form of his spirit, strong and free. For those journeying through their own dark nights, know that this path, though painful, is sacred. It's an invitation to release all that you are not, to discover the truth of who you truly are. So, reflect for a moment, what layers are you ready to let go of? What would your life look like if you stepped fully into your authentic self? As the soul emerges from the depths of transformation, a delicate yet powerful shift begins, the release of control. Letting go isn't about abandoning desires or giving up, it's about embracing a kind of faith, an unwavering trust in the invisible currents that guide our lives. When Andres reached this point in his journey, he realized that all his attempts to dictate every detail, to grasp tightly at outcomes, had only anchored him in frustration and anxiety. In learning to let go, he felt the weight of countless expectations dissolve, replaced by a sense of liberation and connection to something infinitely larger. This practice of surrender isn't always easy. It asks us to release the illusion that we alone can shape our destiny. Imagine a river, the more we struggle against its current, the harder it becomes to move forward. But the moment we trust in its flow, we find ourselves carried by its natural rhythm. Letting go of control is much like this, allowing ourselves to be led, trusting that even if the path seems unclear, the journey itself has purpose. In this surrender, we make space for unexpected blessings and align with our truest path. For Andres, this act of letting go revealed an unexpected peace. The need to know everything, to foresee each twist and turn, melted away. He discovered that trust in the unknown was a powerful form of wisdom, a reminder that the universe often works in mysterious ways. Each time he chose to release his grip, he felt more attuned to his intuition, more open to signs and synchronicities that gently guided him forward. This was his lesson, that letting go didn't mean losing himself, it meant finding his rightful place within the vast tapestry of existence. In the stillness of this surrender, he felt a profound connection with his life purpose. No longer was he tethered to the narrow confines of control. Instead, he began to see himself as part of a greater unfolding, a story written in the stars. Every challenge, every delay, and even every loss became part of a divine orchestration. Trust became his anchor, and with it, he navigated life's uncertainties with a newfound resilience. It wasn't a resignation, but an active choice to live in harmony with the flow of life itself. As he released his attachment to specific outcomes, Andres found that his desires manifested with greater ease. He no longer had to push or force. The universe, in its own timing, began to align circumstances, people, and opportunities that resonated with his truest intentions. It was as if life was responding to his faith, rewarding his willingness to let go. This wasn't magic but a natural response to his inner peace and openness, a reflection of his alignment with the flow of universal energy. Perhaps you too feel the urge to release control, to trust in something beyond what the eye can see. If so, take a moment to reflect, what part of your life is asking for surrender? What could unfold if you allowed yourself to trust that, in the end, everything is exactly as it's meant to be? As we surrender to life's flow, a subtle transformation begins. Pain, once seen as a burden, becomes a doorway to rebirth. For those like Andres, who've walked through the fires of suffering, there is a powerful realization that each moment of struggle and heartache has been quietly forging them into something greater. This rebirth isn't about becoming someone new, it's about uncovering the essence that's been within us all along. With every tear and every scar, a new layer of resilience and wisdom emerges, offering a glimpse of the strength that lies beneath. Pain, as profound as it is universal, invites us to confront our innermost selves. In these moments of discomfort, we're given a choice: to turn away or to lean in, to let our struggles define us or to let them deepen our understanding of who we truly are. Like a seed breaking through the soil, growth often demands that we push past what feels safe and comfortable. For Andres, each painful experience was a step closer to this awakening, a step towards embodying the wisdom that can only be born from life's trials. In this journey of rebirth, the soul sheds the layers that no longer serve. Andres found that as he accepted his pain, he also embraced his own potential. The obstacles he once thought were meant to break him became the very catalysts for his inner transformation. Pain taught him to let go of who he was to make space for who he could become. Each struggle, each moment of despair, was a brushstroke on the canvas of his soul, painting a picture of resilience and beauty that only he could create. Through this rebirth, he discovered his life purpose, a calling that was hidden behind layers of fear and doubt. This purpose wasn't a destination but a journey of self-discovery, a path of personal overcoming that led him to connect more deeply with himself and the world around him. He realized that each moment of suffering was an invitation to awaken to his strength, to transform what was once painful into a source of inspiration and healing. This purpose wasn't something to be found outside, it was an inner compass guiding him home. To embrace pain as a teacher is to see every experience, no matter how challenging, as part of a divine plan. In the quiet aftermath of suffering, we find clarity, a sense of peace that comes from knowing we are exactly where we are meant to be. Pain is a reminder of our humanity, of the courage required to grow and evolve. And as we embrace this journey, we realize that pain doesn't diminish us, it reveals the boundless spirit within, a spirit that can endure, transform, and inspire others on the path of self-discovery. And so, I invite you to reflect: how has pain shaped your journey? How can it serve as a reminder of your strength, an invitation to discover who you were always meant to be? As the journey of rebirth deepens, one finds the call of a higher purpose becoming more vivid, led by an inner guide known as the higher self. This essence, a timeless, wise presence within each of us, draws us toward a life of clarity and authenticity. For Andres, connecting with his higher self transformed his understanding of his place in the universe, illuminating his true path. This inner alignment opened doors to a richer sense of purpose, as he discovered the book, Your Higher Self, a source of guidance that would deepen his journey further. This book was more than a collection of spiritual teachings, it became a beacon of wisdom that resonated powerfully with his soul. Through its pages, Andres learned that connecting with his higher self wasn't about striving for a flawless version of himself but rather about embracing the wholeness of his authentic nature. The book introduced practices for aligning with this deeper self, encouraging him to approach life's complexities with a quiet strength and open heart. Each chapter felt like a mirror, revealing not only his challenges but also his capacity to overcome them. Your higher self became a source of support, helping him live with a renewed sense of resilience and peace, even amid uncertainty. The teachings in the book offered daily practices that Andres incorporated into his life. Each morning, he would sit in silent meditation, breathing deeply, reconnecting with his inner wisdom. This simple act reminded him that he wasn't alone, his higher self was always present, offering guidance and insight. The book encouraged him to make this connection a daily ritual, to turn within whenever he felt lost or unsure. Through these moments, he realized that answers often come from within when we create the stillness to hear them. He also embraced the concept of reprogramming his mind, aligning his thoughts and emotions with the energy of his higher self. Following the book's guidance, he began to replace doubt with faith, worry with calm, and fear with love. This gradual shift had a powerful effect on his reality, as his intentions began to harmonize with the flow of life itself. Andres came to understand that his life purpose wasn't something he needed to search for, it was something he could embody each day, cultivating a deeper alignment with his truest self. The wisdom he absorbed from your higher self also enhanced his relationships, urging him to recognize and honor the higher self within others. This approach shifted his perspective on relationships, allowing him to navigate difficult interactions with empathy and respect. Andres found that he could be a source of peace and understanding for those around him, embodying his spiritual journey in every aspect of his life. For those embarking on their own path of awakening, your higher self offers an invitation to explore the depths of one's being and to reconnect with the essence that exists beyond the distractions of daily life. This book serves not only as a guide for personal discovery but also as a blueprint for a life rich in meaning, purpose, and alignment. Through its teachings, the journey becomes one of finding peace within oneself and a harmony that flows out to every corner of life. As you take these insights forward, remember that each moment of self-discovery brings you closer to your breakthrough. Now, the journey is in your hands. What part of your life is calling for a deeper transformation? Share your reflections in the comments below. I'd love to hear what resonates most with you. And here's a challenge: for the next week, set aside 10 minutes each day to observe the patterns in your life with fresh eyes. Notice what aligns, what feels off, and be open to the subtle signs of change. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so we can continue exploring this path together. There's so much more to uncover. Before you go, let me ask, have you ever wondered why certain numbers seem to appear everywhere? Next, we're diving into a technique Nikola Tesla himself believed could unlock the secrets of the universe. Tesla was fascinated by the numbers 3, 6, and 9, convinced they held the key to creation and manifestation. In the next video, I'll walk you through Tesla's 369 technique, a powerful practice to help you align with universal patterns and manifest your deepest desires. Ready to uncover the mystery behind Tesla's favorite numbers? Join me there, you won't want to miss this.